what do you think the best altcoin on the market is today? Does it have real users? Does it have a real community? Does the token have real network effect? And is the protocol actually generating money? I think you've learned more in terms of how we think as opposed to which specific tokens we're buying. That changes every day, but how we think doesn't change. I'll tell you one which I really, really love. That's to be honest, one of our biggest holdings. You know what I think the best altcoin in the market is today from a risk-return perspective?
What verticals in the altcoin space interest you the most?
If I look at crypto, the essence of crypto is transferring value from one place to another. That is what crypto is. If you break down crypto and you say, well, internet was the moving of data from one place to another, crypto is the transfer of money, not money, but value from one place to another over the internet, over data. And in that kind of market, you have to take a bet on three things. Or four things. The first thing is you have to take a bet on the base layer, which is the blockchains, the Ethereums, the Bitcoins, the next Ethereum or Bitcoin, be it Solana. For me, I think it might be Solana, but it may be something completely different. You have to take a bet on the base protocol. The next level is the infrastructure protocol, which is, what allows us to interact with the wallets, etc. The third thing is exchanges. Now, why do I say exchanges? Because we know that regardless of which projects work and which projects don't work, everyone's going to try and trade the value in and out. When people think that the verticals are going to work, they're going to want to trade into the value. And when they think it's not going to work, they want to trade out of the value. And so for me, the most important layer, the lowest risk layer, is to just invest in exchanges. What have we learned in all the crypto bull markets and bear markets? We've learned that the exchanges make money in the bull and the exchanges make money in the bear. And the exchanges last multiple cycles, whereas the projects last singular cycles, or most projects die in singular cycles. So for me, the best bet is to bet on exchanges, and specifically decentralized exchanges. Why? Because, decentralized exchanges probably aren't going to get the wrath of the SEC and the regulators as much as the centralized exchanges, who all have skeletons in their closet from 2017 and 18 and 19 and whatever else. So the exchanges is the next level. And then the level above that, which I'm very bullish on, is what I call the casinos. Okay, now the casinos, I don't mean literal casinos. I mean an extension of an exchange which allows people to trade on leverage, which is, an exchange allows me to buy 1 ETH or 1 Bitcoin from you. But a leverage exchange allows me to gamble or speculate on the price of that asset without actually holding the underlying asset. Now, for me, in a market that is geared to move value, I want to talk to the innate human nature, which is humans are gamblers, humans are speculators, specifically if they're here. So that's like, if right now where I'm focusing a lot of my bets is the base layer, which is, Ethereum, the layer 2s, what I think is going to be the next Ethereum. And then the next level is the exchanges, and the next one is the gambling. Now, let me throw something at you, which I've said before, and it's not very exciting for crypto users because they're watching your channel. It's called Altcoin Daily. They're watching your channel because they want to invest in altcoins. You know what I think the best altcoin in the market is today from a risk-return perspective? What do you think the best altcoin on the market is today?
The highest potential reward with the least potential risk, Ethereum?
I think Coinbase. Tell you why I think Coinbase. All the other exchanges in the you think about crypto as a transfer of money or a transfer of value from people, from one place to another. We need a place to exchange it. All the American exchanges that I know have got huge skeletons in their closet, and we're seeing the SEC coming after them. Binance, they closed down Bittrex, they went or going for crack. I don't know. I mean, you can see what's going on. The one exchange that has money to fight the SEC has $5 billion on their balance sheet. And we can probably assume that it operated the most legally is Coinbase. And now the reason why I say it's such a good altcoin is because regardless of which tokens are deemed to be securities, which ones survive, which ones fell, doesn't matter. The exchange is going to always operate and be able to trade the tokens. So, I don't know what's going to happen with crypto regulation. I don't know if Cardano and Solana are eventually going to actually be declared securities. Coinbase has the highest chance of succeeding. And at the same time, BlackRock and all the ETFs all listed Coinbase as their partner. Okay, so sounds to me like that's quite a good bet if you want to take a leverage bet on crypto. Now, I know it's not exciting for people who log into Altcoin Daily, but I'm saying, like, if we put on our big boy pants and we say, like, let's talk like adults, not like people who are trading 1000x Pepe or whatever, then that's, for me, is probably a great investment, to like a great risk return investment.
Appreciate that. You give such thoughtful answers, and then I try and just like get very narrow with you. If you were to, give us your top 5 high to mid caps. Now, judging by what you just said here, I would think you'd say things like Ethereum, Solana, maybe Uniswap. I don't know if you're more interested in the equity or the coin, and maybe like things like Injective or GMX. But give us your top 5 altcoins, Ran.
Let me show you. I want to actually, if you don't mind, I want to try and actually show you something. I wonder if okay, here we go. So as you say, I'm quite analytical. So whenever I make an investment, I have a spreadsheet. That's the spreadsheet that I use. I ask 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 questions and a bonus question. First thing is, does the token have real network effect? Does it have a real network effect? Does it have a real community? And when I say a real community, does it have a real community, or does it have a bunch of crypto Twitter shillers and YouTube shillers that are paid for 6 months to shill it? Does it have real users using the protocol for what the protocol is designed to actually do? Okay, so like not people on Solana actually trading Solana between one another. That's not why the protocol was designed. The protocol was designed to have use cases, like in this case, NFTs, for example, right? Is the project really decentralized, or does it have a plan to become decentralized? Okay, like a real plan. Because if it's centralized, the SEC is going to take it down at some point. If it's decentralized, it's got a chance of survival. Will it survive a regulatory attack in the next 2 to 3 years? And is the protocol actually generating money? Like, is it Ethereum generates fees, Bitcoin generates fees, GMX generates fees, Uniswap generates fees. Is it making money? Now, sometimes the answer to all of these is no, but it's a completely new concept. In other words, hell, there's a new concept, completely new. It hasn't yet got network effect, doesn't have community, doesn't have real users, not decentralized. Okay, in which case, that one you can say, okay, I'm making an exception and I'm taking a gamble on a new concept. That's how I evaluate all projects. Now, to say which ones are my favorite, quite difficult to say. So I'll give you a few ideas. I look at the usage stats on blockchains, and I look at Solana, and I see Solana has very high usage stats. It's been hit very, very, very hard from FUD. It's got a big overhang of, say, $1 billion worth of tokens that are owned by the FTX liquidator. And so the market has been very, very, very scared of Solana. And so for me, I'm looking at the fundamentals and I'm looking at the price, and the two don't mix in the short term. Now, I know there's going to be problems in the short term, but long term, I think those problems are going to go away. And so for me, like, okay, I've taken a bet on Bitcoin. I've taken a bet on ETH. I've taken a bet on Solana becoming the next thing. I've taken a bet on GMX because I think people love casinos. I've taken a bet on GNS, which is a competitor, because again, people love casinos. I'm looking for a bet on an NFT exchange. Now, I want to get into Blur. The problem is that Blur seems a bit expensive at $1 billion valuation. That said, if there is an opportunity to get into into it slightly cheaper, you got to keep. You don't have to enter everything today. You can have a wish list or a watch list. So that's how I'm like, I can carry on going down, but that's how I analyze tokens. I'll give another narrative is
you give me 2 more altcoins you like.
Stargate. Stargate is a cross-chain, multi-chain DEX, and it uses a protocol called Layer 0. And it's very technical, but most cross-chain protocols use bridges. Bridges can be hacked. Layer 0 doesn't use bridges, and Stargate is the ultimate DEX on Layer 0. So to me, that's another one which I'm buying or adding. Let me just quickly going to look at the banter bubbles, and I'll tell you if any other ones tickle my fancy today.
Yes, please.
I mean, we have been buying Injective protocol because we believe in Cosmos and because we believe in that ecosystem. But I do think that the prices run quite a bit. So that's one that we haven't used. I mean, I'll show you. I don't know if you'll allow me to do a little bit of a shill here. But
Please, I'm begging you to shill here, Ryan.
no, so this is what we call the banter bubble. So I'm looking at our banter bubbles. It's a bunch of bubbles. I wake up every morning and I look to see which bubbles are working, are pumping, and which ones aren't. And then when we double click, you can kind of see, you can have a chat. And inside the chat, you can see why the bubble is pumping or dumping. So yeah, I'm just quickly looking through here to see if there's any. Oh, I'll tell you one which I really, really love is Arweave. So Arweave is a file storage protocol where you pay once and the blockchain stores your data forever. So unlike like normal file storage protocols and traditional centralized file storage protocols, you pay per meg per month, per gig per month, whatever it is. Arweave, you pay once and it's stored forever. And it's a very smart design. I'm not going to go into the design here because it's quite technical. But if you think about the use cases for storing data forever in a way that can never, ever be removed from the blockchain, it's a very, very, very smart file storage protocol. So that's one of, to be honest, one of our biggest holdings. Yeah, but I think that's pretty much our thesis. I think you've learned more in terms of how we think as opposed to which specific tokens we're buying. That changes every day, but how we think doesn't change. We evaluate on 6 axes, and that's how we make our investment decisions.
Appreciate that. I know you have to get going, have to play with your kids or do some business or something. So in the final stretch, feel free to say as little as you like. First of all, is there just one low cap, scammy moonshot you like or no?
I'm so scared to say. I'm so scared to say these things. I'm so scared to say this, because I'm just so scared people will ape. All right, if you wanna know what I'm not telling you to do this. Just full disclaimer. I'm really not telling anybody to do what I did, but I'm going to show you what I did. I don't know if I should do this. Okay, I'll do it anyway. I did take Rollbit. Why did I take Rollbit? Because it's all the narratives that I like rolled up into one. It's casinos, it's a speculation, it's NFTs, it's derivatives, all in one. Now, look, I'm not telling anyone to do it. And as you can see, the price has moved up a lot. So I'm not telling anyone to follow my stupidity and do it, but you're asking me for a flyer. You're asking me for like a crazy flyer, high risk, could go down again. I took a little nibble today, so I feel bad punting these things, but that's what I did.
I asked you. Appreciate that, guys. And let me just say, guys, I follow Ran. I do think Crypto Banter is his YouTube channel, some of the best perspective in the space. He's linked below. Give him a follow. And tell him Altcoin Daily sent you when you comment on his channel. And my final question for you, Ran, is finish this sentence. I became wealthy when?
I became wealthy before crypto, ironically. I sold the business in Africa for $150 million. It was a marketing business. And then I took the proceeds of that and I put it into crypto. And then I multiplied the money because crypto was just so easy to make money in the days when I got into it. But I became really wealthy when I stopped caring about the money and started having fun doing what I'm doing. And I love doing what I'm doing. And I think this is probably a good time to say that you guys have really inspired me. You and your brother really inspired me. I started my channel way, way after you guys. I really started pushing my channel in 2020 or 2021. That's when I started pushing my channel. And you guys were very big, and you guys were a big, big, big inspiration for me. You guys were the biggest. You had the most subscribers. You're always consistent. You're there every single day. Bull market, bear market. You guys were there every single day. Your videos were concise. They were of the right length. And you guys, Ivan on Tech and one or two others, really inspired me to build Banter. So I want you to know there's a real mutual respect there between the two channels. I know we've tried to get each other onto each other's channels for years now, and there's different time zones and different things that we have to deal with. But I do want you to know that when I wake up in the morning, it's you guys have usually dropped the video your evening, and so for me it's my morning. It's the first video that I listen to. So it's because between you guys and maybe Cryptos Are Us, you guys are the first videos that I listen to, and a big fan of what you guys do. So just keep doing what you're doing.
That means a lot, man. Thank you so much. And again, the respect is mutual. So much respect for your channel. And it makes me feel really good because you're one of the biggest in the game. And to see you boom and to know I'm a little bit of an inspiration, that does make me feel good. Because if one of us succeeds, I think, that gives more of us a chance to succeed. But anyways, Ran, thank you so much for coming on today. Any final thoughts for the Altcoin Daily audience?
Yeah, I think Altcoin Daily audience. I want to just say that I had the pleasure of working with the brothers in Los Angeles last week. We filmed the first season of Killer Whales. We spent three or 4 days together doing that. It's going to be an incredible show. The production quality was, I was invited to do the show, and you always think when you're invited to a TV show, it's going to be like a low budget production, and it's just a bunch of crypto people. When I arrived there, I was like, holy shit, look at this production quality and the caliber of the project. And I think it's going to be an unbelievable series. And again, I think it was a great honor to work alongside you and your brother, and I think and all the other judges. So it's just so much fun, and I just can't wait for it to come out. So Altcoin Daily fam, when it comes out, I think you guys are going to love it.
Totally agree. We could spend another half hour talking about just what's to come with Killer Whales, but thank you so much, Ran.
Cool. Thank you so much, my friend.